Welcome, everyone. This is week 6. Already 6 weeks into the season, 5 weeks come and gone. And here are your current standings. We're going to get right into it. LA Finesse, 5-0. 5-0. The West is looking pretty, cut in half here. You got the Finesse at 5-0, Titans Elite 4-1, Voyagers and Wise Guys under 500. The Wise Guys are still winless. The Central took an ass whooping last week. All of them lost. Every Central team lost last week. So now it's still a four-legged race. Dan looks like he's in the shitter at 1-4, but he's still only one game back on the Trolls, the Tiger Sharks, and the Bunny Bangers. The East, all of them won last week. So the Hickory Grove Heaters are still up top by a game at 4-1. Rune Dogs and the Smeagol's right on their tails at 3-2. And the Dumpster Fire looking to make a surge, coming back from a 2-3 start. Disappointing. Let's get into the power rankings, guys. Well, a little bit of change. But not too much. Coming in at number 12, you got the winless 0-5 Wise Guys. I mean, they've just had bad luck. They lost last week to the Heaters, who are normally a high-scoring team. They lost to the Heaters 99-92. I mean, I'm not saying you're unlucky, Tebow, but I mean, damn. Like, the one time that Matt scores 99, you can only put up 92. You got to take advantage of that. You got to coach them guys better. Coach them up. Not like I can talk them 2-3, but you know what I'm saying. All right. Coming in at number 11, we got the falling. Very tough to place, but falling Wisconsin Bunny Bangers. This team, man, it's hot and cold each week, but not as good as the Titans Elite. Not as good as the Rune Dogs, hot and cold. They're like freezing and like mildly tepid, I guess you would say. And they got their ass whooped by the Dumpster Fire last week by 60 points, 55 points. So, and they still put up 117 in the process. So they really, this team's got to show some consistency to start moving up these boards. I dropped them down from, I think, 7 here, because everyone behind them won. So I kind of had to put them here. Coming in at number 10, you got the French Quarter Quail Men. The only reason I've got them above the Bunny Bangers right now is basically on points scored. And they're just more consistent with how many points they put up. They put up 140 last week, but they lost to the Titans Elite by 34. Put up 140, lost by 34. That's how, I wouldn't say unlucky, but shit happens. But this team looks better than the Bunny Bangers at the moment. Coming in at number 9, dropping a spot, you got the Tampa Bay Tiger Sharks. They just made a trade. They traded away Cordero Patterson, which I think was one of his best assets. And he traded away for nickels, it looks like. Just nothing. Dimes. Right now, the trade looks a little bit one-sided, but who knows? Rico may have something up his sleeve. He thinks that he's out of the Central and out of the race, but the winner of the Central gets an automatic bid. Okay? Top 3. You win the West, win the Central, win the East, you're going to the playoffs. It's just the top 2 teams that get the bye. Okay? I'm assuming the top from the West and the top from the East will get the byes just based on records so far. That can still change, obviously, but we'll see. But everyone in the Central is still in the game. All right. Coming in at number 8, you got the Trentham Trolls dropping down one spot. They did lose to the Rune Dogs by 12 points. They put up 144 in the process. Looked pretty nice, but the Rune Dogs, man. Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson's tough to handle. So dropping them down a spot again. These middle of the road guys are kind of tough to place. All the Central 8 through 11. So it is kind of tough to place these guys. Moving up 4 spots, you got the Columbia Dumpster Fire. They showed life. They didn't need CMC. They put up 173. Okay, and beat the fucking brakes off the Bunny Bangers. So this team can still score without CMC. Now, CMC just got placed on IR, so he's out for the next at least 3 weeks. He was going to play the Vikings tonight, today, this morning, whenever you're watching this, and I thought he was going to have a big game, but then I guess he had a setback on Thursday practice, so and then they put him back on IR, so he must have had a major setback. And yeah, CMC's gone, but this team has shown that it can score points, and now with Nick Chubb out, they may have another chance for oh God, what's his name? Back up. What's his name? Kareem Hunt. Okay, sorry. Fucking hell. If Chubb is out, Kareem Hunt's going to get that workload in Cleveland. So this team may put up even, not saying more numbers than 170, but they have a much higher floor, I think, than they did before. I'm not trying to rhyme so much today, guys. It's just kind of happening. Moving on. Coming in at number 6, staying at number 6. The top 5 or the top 6 didn't really move too much. So not going to be much change, but we'll see how it goes. Coming at number 6, you got the Vietnam Voyagers. Took a loss last week. We lost to the... Oh, fucking hell, my computer's slow. Jesus. We lost to the Smeagol's by a considerable amount. They were up. They were winning by, I think, 8 points going into the final game with Justin Tucker, but then Mark Andrews. Voyagers at 2-3. Coming in right next to the team that he just lost to, the Philadelphia Smeagol's, moving down a spot, actually. Yeah, you put up 166. Yeah, I got it. But the person above you just can't be ignored anymore, and I'm not going to. So the Smeagol's are here at number 5, still one of the toughest teams to place. You never know what they're going to do each week, but they seem to stay consistently high floor, but they sometimes get unlucky. Coming in at number 4, you got the SC Titans Elite. Joe, number 4, putting up huge points last week, putting up 174, 175, something like that. I mean, just, yeah, 174, almost, let's call it 175 against the Quailmen. And the Quailmen didn't go down without a fight. They put up 140, still blew them out by 34 points. This fucking team, like Rico said, it does ride or die by the Bucks. So what is it? The week 9. Week 9 is going to be probably a loss for Joe, but sometimes that works. If the Bucks are just that good, and if Joe can just get win, and then just take an automatic loss week 9 and not drop anybody, then who cares, right? Then he just keeps winning and winning. But again, if the Bucks start to falter, so does this team. Coming in at number 3, top 3 didn't really change. You got the Hickory Grove Heaters at 4-1. You got the Long Island Room Dogs at number 2. And still at the top, you got the LA Finesse at number 1. Top 3 haven't changed. You guys are still the cream of the crop right now. Some big games this week, though. So we'll see if anything changes in the top 3. We got a huge game between the number 1 and number 3 ranked team this week, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But on to the matchups. Matchup number 1. You got the winless Wise Guys flying up to Wisconsin, or I guess over, to play the 2-3 Bunny Bangers. Now, Rico picked the Wise Guys to win this, to get their first win, and it looks like it may happen. It looks like the Wise Guys may have the inside track to steal the win from Nate. Now, if the Wise Guys lose 0-6, I don't think I've ever seen it before. 0-6, I mean, even at 7-6, but now since we have an extra game this season, 8-6. I mean, that's going to be tough to get into the playoffs. So the Wise Guys, this is playoff football. Playoffs from the Wise Guys here on out. They have to win every single game. Basically. Especially against the Finesse at the end of the season. They have to win that game or they're fucking done probably, right? They probably have to win the West because they're probably not going to have the second best or third best record to get that wild card spot. But yeah, Wise Guys, Bunny Bangers, it's going to be a good matchup, I think. But again, we'll see how it plays out. Matchup number 2. You got the French Quarter Quail Man at 1 in floor, flying. 1 in floor. Fuck it, I'm going to keep it. 1 in floor. Flying over to Columbia to play the 2 and 3 Dumpster Fire, the recently surging Dumpster Fire, sans CMC. And again, like I said, Kareem Hunt, he's got the full workload. Dan's going to need to put up another 140 game to have a shot here, I think, because the Dumpster Fire coming out hot, 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 hot. Matchup number 3. We got the 2 and 3 Tampa Bay Tiger Sharks flying up to Long Island to play the 3 and 2 Boondocks. With this trade that the Tiger Sharks just pulled off, this is going to be a really, really tough matchup, and it almost seems like a foregone conclusion that the Boondocks should win this game, just based on talent, on what they're scoring, what they're putting up each week. I mean, it's going to be really, really tough for the Tiger Sharks to pull out a win here. Unless Derrick Henry dies or just doesn't get touchdowns or whatever. Even if he doesn't, he can still put it up 130. But it's going to be tough for the Tiger Sharks. But if they can pull off a win, huge upset. Huge upset. And will shake up the East and give Rico the inside track to take the Central. On to matchup number 4. We got the 3 and 2 Philadelphia Smeagol's flying all the way up to Santa Clara to pay the 4 and 1 Santa Clara Titans Elite. 4 and 1, Joe. How's it feel? Joe's already put up 71 points on the week. But he's still only projected to win by 6 points. Now, again, we saw what could happen with the Smeagol's. They were down, but then fucking exploded. So this is still going to be a tight race, even though Joe right now is still up by 65 points. But the Bucks have already played. So we'll see what happens here. If Joe can pull this off, this team's for real. This team is for real. If Joe can get a win here. But we'll see. Smeagol's are trying not to fall back to 500. They want to keep that winning tradition up there in Philadelphia going. We'll see how they do. On to the rivalry game of the week. Depicted by Rico. All right. I should learn not to bang on my table, because that just disconnected my whole shit. Anyway, rivalry game of the week. We got the 2 and 3 Trenton Trolls flying all the way out to Vietnam to play the also 2 and 3 Vietnam Voyagers. Both teams coming off a heartbreaking loss. And Trenton Trolls won the rivalry game of the week last week and lost at home. Let's see how they can do it again on the road in the far, far, far east. It's going to be a tough matchup. As of now, it's looking like the Voyagers should take it, but I'm hearing word that the manager, head coach of the Voyagers is having trouble picking his flex for the week. It could be Edmonds, it could be Pittman, it could be anyone. So it's really going to depend on that. The X factor there is going to be whatever that flex spot does, in my opinion. But we're not here for any of these other games. We're here for the game of the week between two teams that have one loss between them, thanks to yours truly. The game of the week is the Hickory Grove Heaters at 4 and 1 at the LA Finesse at 5 and 0, undefeated Finesse. This is going to be a big fucking game. Obviously game of the week, but I mean big fucking game. If the Finesse lose, they could lose the West just like that to Joe. If the Heaters win, they could gain back the East. Well, I mean, they already have the East, but they can command the East. If the Heaters lose, that gives up so much ground on the rest of the East. And then the Finesse have probably a 1, maybe 2 game lead on the West. This is a huge game. Nothing to do with the Central. Central don't care about this game. West and East, we care. Huge fucking game here. You got the Heaters You got the finesse. Mahomes, Murray. Woo! It's going to be hot. Hot, hot, hot. And speaking of hot takes, we got predictions. Rico's picks this week, but let's review. Last week, Nate went 1-5. Nate went 1-5 on his picks. Like I said last week, I said it's either going to be 6-0 or 0-6. I was pretty close. It was 0-6. Nate went crazy. He lost. So now we're 11-19 overall. Out of 30 games, we've only gotten 11 right, guys. Come on, 37%. We can do better than that. Pick smart. Next week, Joe, ready for that. Again, you got the records. Tebow at 3-3, Mandy 1-5, E-Man 3-3, Matt 3-3, Nate 1-5. No one's gotten 4 wins or more in these predictions. But right now, Rico might have a look to have the best prediction record so far. He may even be undefeated, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Rico's got the Wise Guys over the Bunny Bangers in the upset of the week. He's got the Wise Guys get their first win over the Bunny Bangers. It could happen. Bunny Bangers can either put up 70 or 170. You never fucking know. He's got the Dumpster Fire over the Quail Men. He's got the Loon Dogs over his own Tiger Sharks. Very humble pick, but probably going to happen. He's got the Smeagol's over the Titans Elite. Ooh! Woo! Joe wants respect. He's got the Voyagers over the Trolls in the rivalry game of the week. He's got the undefeated Finesse taking down the Heaters. He's got the Finesse going to 6-0. E-Man's never been 6-0. Ever. In the 7 years that we've been doing this league. 6, 7 years, however long. Never been 6-0. I don't even know if anyone's ever been 6-0, actually. May have to take a look at the tape, but I don't know if anyone started off this hot. Hot, hot, hot. But we'll see. There's going to be some big games. I could have put a rivalry between the Finesse and Heaters, but nah, you know what's there. Let's get on to golf. A change has happened. A new player sits atop the throne. E-Man, with his crown, sitting at 9 under, a score that Matt once held last week. But E-Man's now at 9 under par. Matt, 7 under par. Matt's starting to drop. It's not good. Just like Nate said last week, he thought this Heater team would start to falter, and it looks like it a little bit, but we'll see. Then we got a 3-way tie for third. You got P-Man, Joe, and Hunter. And Hunter, by the way, shot 4 under par last week. So Hunter went from going 1 over to 3 under in 1 damn week. Good job, Hunter. You got German Manually snuggling up at 2 under par in 6th place. You got Nate 1 under, finally getting under par here, Nate, in 8th place. Then you got Rico at 3 over. Dan and Graydon snuggling up together in 10th place, 4 over par. And then Tebow, of course, 0-5, but you're only 6 over par. So that just shows how unlucky you are. But yeah, guys, that's basically it. I hope you guys have a good week. Good luck. Happy birthday, E-Man. Joe, ready to see those picks next week. Good luck, y'all.